What is up, Magic community? So not too long ago, a bunch of us Magic creators got together, podcasters, video producers like myself. We banded together to make a little group that helps us all sort of improve on what we do. I'm going to sit up a moment because this hurts. And I have to say, the amount of support that I've seen in that group is really awesome. I've seen quite a few folks who are asking on how to improve the actual quality of what they're doing. And their product is something that they want to work on, whether it's their video, the audio, just something. And as someone who has some slight knowledge on this sort of thing, I feel like I want to make a little video where I can talk about it and maybe give some advice to people who might be considering becoming a content creator and just some tips. So I really hope you enjoy this video, so let's begin. So first of all, the thing I think is the most important to making a good quality podcast or a video is audio. Audio. It makes the video. So the audio is really what's going to make or break your entire content. No one's going to want to watch your video, your podcast, if it sounds terrible. Without sounding harsh, if you want people to give you a chance, you better make sure it sounds good, because otherwise they'll be gone. Turn off all background noise. It's 80 degrees in here. I'm very hot, but nobody wants to hear my air conditioner in the background humming all obnoxious like. I recommend, if you're serious about becoming a creator, I just made a lot of noise. See, this is why you don't make background noise. When you want to start getting into content creating, I seriously consider investing into a microphone. It doesn't have to be something super expensive. You're just making YouTube videos. You're not making, blockbuster films that require boom mics and, Sennheisers. And when I first started making YouTube videos, a long time ago in the year 2014, I used a pair of microphones. I used this bad boy, the Blue Snowball. There's also a Blue Yeti, which isn't so ballish. It's more of like a regular traditional mic thing. A lot of people use these. These are really popular. I don't really use this anymore because I've gotten a better microphone. They're $50. It's got the three little legs. It props up, and it's great for podcasting. I feel like this is an omnidirectional mic. I might be wrong, maybe. Whatever. It's $50. They could buy them at Walmart now because I've seen them there. I bought mine online. Yay. Great microphone. Plugs right into your USB. I also have, and this was a more portable one, the Samson Meteorite. This one I think was like $30, maybe $40. Really good microphone. Again, you plug this. You plug the little thingy here. It's a micro USB port. Goes into your computer's microphone port, or not the microphone port, the USB port. And that's all it takes. You open up Audacity, set it up to the highest project rate you can so you can get the highest quality recording. That's all it takes. The microphone I actually use right now, I'm going to destroy my audio in moving it, but I have the Audio-Technica AT2020. It's another USB microphone. This one's set up to a boom mic, so it can just sort of hang down here. You usually want to have your microphone as close as possible to you. Also, I have it about 6 inches is what I recommend. If you have a louder voice, maybe a little further, maybe a little closer if you're quiet. You'll also want a pop filter. This is a windscreen. It's a little different from a pop filter because it's right up on the microphone, so I don't have to be so, it doesn't move as much. Pop filters are also really cheap. You can make a cheap one out of like a sock or whatever. It helps get rid of the explosives when you're talking, so like the P sound, the B sound. It's a very subtle difference, but it'll make a difference, trust me. Next is video. You may notice on this channel that I rarely use face cam. It's a few reasons why. I use it in this video because I think it would look nicer than my usual background with my little avatar guy on it for 10 minutes. If you're doing live videos such as this, it's definitely something you'll want to record in at least 720p. This is YouTube 2018. The majority of cameras you can get nowadays can record in 1080p without a problem, maybe even more. I think Apple's go up to 1440. I don't know. I don't have Apple products. I have Android. Focusing and camera function is another camera thing I really don't have the capacity to comment on, as you probably can tell from my very bad video. But you'll want to have you or the subject you're filming on in the center of the video, maybe a little off to one side. In film, there's the thing called the rule of thirds, where if you split your screen, like boom, into thirds, into a 3x3 grid, you'll want that subject of your video to sort of line up on like one line of the video on one of the little intersections, and it'll make your composition look a lot better in the end. Lighting is also important. I'm just doing it right now with my desk lamp. It doesn't really look that great. If you have the money to invest in it, I got mine off the Wish app. This is gonna probably not work, but I have a ring light. Let's see, is it plugged in? Boom. No, I was expecting it to go on. But it'll give a nice lighting effect. There's soft boxes you can get. You can just get a daylight bulb into a regular light like lamp, and that'll work fine too. Just something to make your video lit. That's what the cool kids use nowadays, right? Now for presentation. If you're making a video where you're discussing cards, you really want to avoid just doing like, hey, look at this card. This is cool. You can't read any of that. Don't expect your viewers to read this, even if you try and hold it close and mess with the focus of your camera. Woo! Don't do that. It's not good. It won't look good. I know older deck techs on YouTube used to be people just sort of propping their deck up on a table and just filtering through it. That's fine, as long as you can read the cards. If it's a foreign language card, maybe look up the image of it. I personally really enjoy the videos where if you're gonna make a card on the screen that you're talking about it's an actual image of the card. I personally use Scryfall for all of my images, with the rare exception of like some really like these just came out and there's no high quality image other than the spoiler that's on like Wizards' website. You really want to have your viewer be able to look at that visual aid to help them remember. It's very good for that retention and keeping them invested in what you're saying, because if you're doing like this and you're just like, yeah, so in my deck I'm running 4 Llanowar elves, 4 Finehorn elves, people aren't going to remember that. They're not going to be paying attention to what you're saying. They're just going to be like, okay, you're running these, and what are these cards? I've never heard of this. So just talking about the card, even briefly, have a picture of it like this. Boom. I'm hoping I edited that in because otherwise it won't look cool. It'll really make a difference. One detail that a lot of creators do not work on are thumbnails. Thumbnails are a lot of times the very first impression to what people will see with your videos. It will be their first encounter with your channel. And it's often what makes the difference between getting watched and getting ignored. It's an effort that's appreciated by the viewer, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort on your part as the creator. It'll help set your videos apart from the 50 billion other channels out on YouTube. If you really want someone to watch what you're doing, put the effort in to make it look good. Show them that you care enough that you'll make a thumbnail for your video. It doesn't have to be, a Leonardo da Vinci masterpiece. Like, you can make it in Paint if you absolutely have to, but don't use Comic Sans. Don't make the font so horribly tiny and thin and some weird obscure font that people can't read. Make it easy to read, make it look nice, get a color scheme going. Like, if you look at my videos, I use a bold sans serif font. I don't remember the font name at the moment. I think it's Americana. I'll put the link, the name will be like right here on the bottom. I'm probably not going to remember to do that. And you want it to be able to be viewable on a mobile screen, because a lot of people, they'll be looking at your videos on their phone, and you'll want them, like, let me show you what I mean. If you look, on my channel, this is probably not going to come out very well. You can read all the titles of the videos on the screen without too much trouble. Like, you can see what the video is going to be about. There are some videos, and I know there's some of the bigger creators too who do this, who they have very tiny fonts, or the font really doesn't stand out very well from the background that you're on, like the image on the background of the thumbnail. So, you know, put a stroke on that. Like, if you're in Photoshop, you can make a blending effect and put a stroke. I usually use 8 to 10 pixels for that. And it'll put a little border around the font so that it'll very vividly stand out from the background. So it's not like, it's like you can't read the font. So, you know, bold sans serif font, put a stroke on it. I sometimes put down a drop shadow because it looks nice. Make it look nice, and then people will actually want to click through because they've seen, hey, this guy made a nice thumbnail. I'm going to watch his stuff and maybe like it. The other thing, name your videos appropriately. Put proper tags in your video descriptions. That will make it possible for YouTube's search engine to pick up on your channel and, you know, look for it when it's doing its searches. If you're doing Magic content specifically, maybe putting MTG or Magic or just something in the title will help it get seen. People will be like, you're making a Magic video. Excellent. Don't make clickbait titles. No one in 2018 cares about clickbait titles. Save yourself the trouble and just avoid it. You know, people think that if you make clickbait videos, it's gonna make everyone come watch your videos, you're gonna go viral. It's just no. If anything, you actually can kill a lot of the potential audience by making clickbait videos, just saying. Engaging with other creators is also really important. If you and your friend have YouTube channels, put their channels in your related channels section. You can edit what channels are being featured on your channel by adding their URL to the entry section. Like, on a lot of channels, I'll see, like, they don't feature other channels. But, like, let me pull up mine again because I'm so conceited. But you can choose what channels are being, you know, showcased on your channel. Like you see on mine, I'm going to unplug my phone real quick, which is a fatal mistake. You know, I've chosen to have, you know, the Professor, Nicole, Simon, Nizahan, Matt, you know, all these channels. Like, you can choose who's on there, you know, and I think you have a max of like 10 that it'll show before it'll start being like, hey, you gotta click to see more. And, you know, and when you do that, you can, like, you just take, when you're on your computer, you need to do it on a computer because I don't think the mobile phone lets you do that. You go into edit your channel settings, and there's a little section that's like featured channels, and you can just copy the URL to their channel and paste it in the little entry, and then you can rearrange where the order is, whatever. Usually I'm like, whatever name, it's like, there you go. It'll help be like, okay, so this channel and this channel are similar, you know, they know each other, they interacted with each other, you know, collab with other creators, you know, try to put your best work out there if you do so, because it's likely going to be the viewers of that person's channel's first impression of your channel if they've never heard of you before. And you don't want their first impression of you to be like, oh, this guy kind of half-asses his videos. Pass. And lastly, have fun with what you're doing. You know, if you're wanting to start off content creation, don't go into it expecting to make a fortune. YouTube rarely pans out as a job for its creators. And if you go all in hoping to make it big, you're going to be disappointed. You know, do it for the fun of sharing your passion of the game with the world, and you'll find it the most rewarding, you know. I know when I first started out doing YouTube years ago, I really went into it like, oh, I can become a big YouTuber because I can make videos. As you can see, I don't do that yet. I know on this channel, you know, we've gotten substantially bigger. You know, I'm not one of the huge channels, but I've got my following. I have all of you friends. don't do it for the views, do it for the fun. It's fun making videos. It's a really fun thing when you put up your video and you see people responding to it, you know? I had a video once I made years ago where I was a deck tech of something, and it was the first video I'd ever had that kind of went pseudo viral. It was on my older channel, and most of my videos only got like 20 views at the max. And then this one video, I kind of got into it with someone who was trolling me. And the video, I don't know if maybe it was that, or maybe the video was actually pretty good. But it got like 25,000 views within like a few days, and I don't know I took it down, obviously, and I really didn't want to, because there was just so much hostility on that video. That's gonna sound good. I just bumped my microphone. If you can make a video and it can go viral enough that people are watching it in mass, that's a really cool feeling. I think it's one of my Atraxa videos, or the my Stacks videos. It's like almost 20,000 views, and that's just really cool to think that 20,000 people have watched my subpar video. But yeah, just do it for the fun. In the end of the day, like, I had fun making that video. It was cool to see people are responding to it nicely, you know, and I feel like a lot of people will respond better to videos that they could see you're having fun making. Like, nobody wants to see a video where you're just sitting there grumbling at your computer. Like, nobody cares. You know, take the salt elsewhere. But YouTube is all about making fun. It's about having fun. And the more fun you can have making a video, the better it'll end up at the end of the day. Anyway, I think I've rambled about everything I wanted to in this video, so feel free to hit that like button if it helped. If not, you can hit the dislike button. I'll still care. If you are a content creator who's just starting out, or, you know, you're a smaller channel who hasn't gotten any exposure, leave a link to your channel or podcast in the comment section. I'm thinking about doing like a sort of like creator spotlight thing. That's a thing still, to sort of feature and showcase channels. I think that'd be a fun thing to try out. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see all you guys, gals, and non-binary pals in the next video. Bye!